Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. Happy President's Day. Today is a day where we commemorate one of the nation's 46 chief executives, the one who dates back to the face on the $1 bill. Now you may not know this, but President's Day, a federal holiday, was originally meant to celebrate the first U.S. president, George Washington, and was called Washington's birthday when it was established in 1879. In fact, the federal government still uses its former name, according to the Department of State's website. Now, there's a lot to know about the first president, from his successful liquor distiller business to only being a scholar in name because he never attended college. But he's not the only U.S. president with information many are unaware of. Today, I want to discuss some lesser-known fun and interesting facts about a few of the other U.S. presidents. Let's jump right in. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died on July 4th. You see, second President John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, the third president, died just within hours of each other. Now, what makes this coincidence even more odd is that the two died on July 4th, 1826, just 50 years after the original American Independence Day. James Madison was the shortest U.S. president. Now, America's fourth president was also the shortest, and he stood at 5 foot 4 inches tall and weighed just over 100 pounds. John Quincy Adams went skinny dipping daily. I want to say that one more time. President John Quincy Adams used to go skinny dipping every day. The sixth president used to go skinny dipping in the Potomac River. The activity was part of his morning routine for years. And Martin Van Buren was the first U.S. president born in the U.S. Yeah, unlike Washington, Martin Van Buren, the 8th president, was the first president to be born in the U.S. The previous 7 presidents were all born as British subjects. And John Tyler was a father to 15 children. No, it's true. John Tyler not only ran the country, but his own personal village at home. You see, the 10th president fathered 15 children, more than any other. And from 1815 to 1860, he welcomed 8 sons and 7 daughters before his death in 1862. Abraham Lincoln may have had Marfan syndrome. Now, this conversation's been going around for quite some time, and the debate still exists. But 16th President Abraham Lincoln was considered to be America's tallest president. Now, his 6 foot 4 inch height may have been explained by him possibly having Marfan syndrome. Now, Marfan syndrome is a genetic disorder that affects connective tissue from the fibers that support organs to other body structures. And Andrew Johnson befriended mice at the White House. You see, the rumors that Andrew Johnson did not officially have any pets isn't entirely true. The 17th president apparently befriended a family of white mice during his impeachment. And Johnson was also the first president to ever be impeached when the House of Representatives voted to do so after he removed Secretary of War Edwin Stanton from the cabinet, which breached the Tenure of Office Act. Now, the Senate acquitted in a 35-19 vote, just 1 vote short of the 2/3 required to convict him. And Benjamin Harrison was afraid of touching light switches. And this kind of makes sense. I mean, think about this. Benjamin Harrison was the first president to live in an electrified White House. The 23rd president and his wife, Carolyn Harrison, both refused to touch light switches out of fear of an electrical shock. Now, keep this in mind. Electricity was very new in the U.S. at that time. And White House staff took on the extra task of turning on and off light switches to avoid taking any chances of electrocution. William McKinley was on the discontinued $500 bill. Now, William McKinley, the 25th president, had his face and likeness featured on the $500 bill. The Federal Reserve and the Department of Treasury discontinued the bill in 1969. The bill is now worth way more than just $500, with some collectors willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars under the right conditions. Did you know that raccoons lived at the White House during Calvin Coolidge's term? No, this is true. It was quite common to find raccoons around the White House when Calvin Coolidge lived there. The 30th president grew up surrounded by wildlife when he lived on a secluded farm in Plymouth Notch, Vermont. And he took his affinity for raccoons with him when he moved into the Oval Office. You see, in November 1926, a cohort of well-intentioned admirers shipped him a live raccoon to roast for Thanksgiving dinner. Now, the Coolidge family refused to eat their friend, and a few weeks later, the raccoon appeared for Christmas in a red ribbon along with the title, Rebecca Raccoon of the White House. Now, according to a book on Calvin Coolidge that I read, Rebecca even had a presidential diet during their tenure when she ate chicken, eggs, persimmons, green shrimp, and cream. She even made public appearances at summer parties and Easter egg rolls. So I think that's great. You know, growing up in the country myself, I completely get it. I love that about that president. He was a real guy. You know, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was a movie buff. And I think that becoming president doesn't mean the end of having hobbies, right? And in addition to being the only president to ever serve more than 2 terms, Franklin D. Roosevelt was known for his love of the cinema. The 32nd president found movies to be an escape from the responsibilities of being president during the Great Depression and World War II. He especially liked comedies, and particularly the work of the 1930s and 40s comedy team Abbott and Costello. He even invited them to perform at the White House several times while he was president. And the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Library and Museum website indicates that his love of movies was a primary aspect that made him who he was. And I think it's amazing. You know, remember Ronald Reagan? He was a movie star, sort of. And, you know, Gerald Ford used to be a model before he was president. This blew me away. You know, there's no denying that appearances often matter for voters in presidential elections, right? But it might have helped that Gerald Ford, the 38th president, had some modeling experience before his term. You see, after graduating from Yale in 1941, Ford earned extra cash as a model. After joining the Navy in 1942, he even appeared on the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine in his uniform, though he never received official credit. He eventually served in World War II until its end in 1945. You'll probably notice my Yale, but I went to Brown, and there's a little rivalry there, and our football team is still better. Just wanted to point that out. And and that's it. That concludes the knowledge and information I have today related to President's Day. But I want to tell you, more so, I hope this got you thinking. I hope maybe I shared some information with you that got things lubed up and got your brain box going, and your supercomputer's on high alert now, and you're ready to move forward with some incredible activities that are going to build this day into your greatest day ever. Let's continue to walk down this path and build out our dream lives, okay? Let's achieve goals. Let's continue to move forward in a way that's going to make today and every day after today the greatest day of our lives. I want you to be the best you that you can be. And out of all the people that live on this planet, only you have the ability to be you. Only you have the ability to utilize the gifts that God gave you. Only you have the ability to build the life that you deserve. Listen, I care about you. I think you are so amazing. I believe in you, and so much so that I'm going to be back tomorrow with some more information. Let's keep moving forward together as we achieve a beautiful life. Our dreams will come true. We will achieve our goals, and we will have the circumstance that we want in our lives. Because you know why? We deserve it. Have a great day, friends. Take care.